Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech. We're looking at these repair times. I think it's pretty clear that we need to get our third repair bay online. Luckily, we do have an engineering upgrade available. So we need to, in order to do that, get two upgrades, specifically improved power conduits or structural reinforcement. They cost not you. They cost exactly the same, but this one has the benefit of giving us an extra tech point. Yeah, it costs money per month and the other doesn't, but I think the tech point is honestly more important. So we are going to purchase that. Excellent. We'll get that underway, and then we'll grab our structural reinforcement next, and then from there we'll grab Mech Bay 3 so that we can work on a third mech at 33% efficiency, but then we'll grab this and then it'll work at 100% efficiency. That's nice and cheap and fast. So we're going to tick ahead a little bit here. We do need to get repairs done. Now the Raven is currently top priority. I actually feel like we should probably drop that to bottom priority. I want to work on this in like reverse order, I think. Like this. From what I usually do. So let's just go ahead and tick forward and work on getting these repairs completed. We're also going to 3 more days. We're going to tick forward at least 1 more day here. That'll get the Vulcan done and some of our mech warriors back. I would like to not hit this financial report, though, if we can at all help it. Let's check to see if we've got any mech warrior training to have happen. In fact, we do. Synapse can get a little bit there. And Tarbox can grab Bandit. Fantastic. I can't do it. I can't give up 25% increased crit chance. And +6 to clustering. That's very good. That's very, very powerful. So we could tick forward another day and get Aryamaki back. However, what mech does Aryamaki pilot? I can't remember. That is the Assassin. Okay. The Assassin is not repaired, so that is not actually something that we're going to want to do. Let's go ahead and pop into the command center here. We may want to just grab one of these local government missions. This one has pretty good salvage. This one has slightly better salvage. It is skull and a half, and I'd like to avoid skull and a half for the moment. So I think we'll run this one here. This is a capture base mission. Oh, that's against Federated Suns. That one's against pirates. That one's a duo-duel. One's against Federated Suns. We're trying to align with the Federated Suns. We could, of course, take one mission opposing them. That said, this is good here. What's our tonnage going to look like? And that's a double salvage as well. What is our tonnage going to look like here? We're going to have the Panther. The Blackjack is... Is this... One or more issues. What's wrong with the Blackjack? I don't recall. I thought we got it fixed up. Or no, we were missing a heat sink, weren't we? No, we're simply underweight by 0.187 tons. And there's not really anything we can do about that. The laser AMS is not ideal. Ultimately, we will end up switching this out with switching out these medium rifles. But for right now, they'll do. Yeah. So we're actually completely fine deploying the Blackjack. Now, we don't have a mech warrior that has affinities for the Blackjack, but that, I think, is okay. So it was this destroy base mission here. Bump it up like that. So we'd be bringing the Blackjack, and we'd be bringing the Panther. Now, who's our Panther pilot? That is Falcon. And who would pilot the Blackjack? Synapse is our Javelin pilot, and it's not exactly a direct correlation there, but we could, in theory, get away with having him pilot the Blackjack, and then we'd phase out the Javelin. We wouldn't want to get rid of the javelin yet, but we could phase it out. Yeah, I think this'll do. Darius will almost certainly yell at us for this. Yeah, he will. But we're going to give it a go. I believe we'll be able to handle this without any major issues, especially if I don't have any major positioning issues like I have previously. We do have 2 sniper mechs with the medium rifles in the Blackjack and the PPC in the Panther, so that is definitely something we'll need to consider with our tactical approach to this base. We can sit back and take out the turrets at rather extreme range while risking relatively little. That said, it'll depend on how the garrison ends up deploying. We need to destroy structures in Smuggling Base and escape. We've seen a rise in the quantity of unregistered small arms on Algot. A heavily armed population makes local government operations more difficult. We've tracked the weapons back to a hidden smuggling base operated by pirate forces. That base needs to be destroyed. I'm not expecting a lot of defenders, Commander, but there are likely to be turrets. There's a bonus if we wipe out the base garrison as well. That's your call as the situation on the ground develops. Yeah, we'll probably do that. Ooh, this map. Okay. No nearby reinforcements, but there are fixed gun emplacements. Roger that. So the actual base is up here. We see turrets here, here, possibly here. Is that... Oh, that's a communications dish. There's a turret there. Likely, yeah, a turret there. Noted. We could maybe approach from the cover of this cove? I'm willing to bet this is too close. Yeah, way too close. However, we could maybe get away with approaching from over here? That'll do. Okay. So we're going to have to slowly make our way in. The question is, what do they have for defenders? This Gauss emplacement is AMS protected. Okay. That's a Calliope. That's not anywhere near as threatening as this Gauss emplacement. Okay. The Vulcan can move up over this way. We need to focus fire that Gauss emplacement. 69.1%. Great. That's 2 hits there. 90 damage. That is a very, very big deal. We're going to utilize our medium rifles here for the same thing. Our hit odds are worse. That's not surprising. Oh, we still hit both of them. That's 66 more damage into that Gauss emplacement. They fired on the Vulcan and missed.
Commander?
The Panther is going to move up. And it's also going to fire on the Gauss emplacement. Hopefully we hit this too. That's a hit. Wonderful. That's 50 more damage on that Gauss emplacement. And its armor is basically gone.
Yes,
The J. Edgar is going to cruise up just as close as it can. It's going to be doing a twofold mission here. This is primarily as a distraction with 6 evasive pips. And also to hit the Gauss emplacement, and I guess this is a threefold mission. We're looking to explore what is up on these turrets and if there's a garrison over here.
Roger that.
So what do we see? We see a Blackjack. That's about it. We're going to hit this Gauss emplacement with everything we've got here.
Here it comes.
So another couple of hits. That is a structure exposure. The Hunchy cannot get in range of the Gauss emplacement. So we're going to have to take 1 Gauss round here. We're going to pray that our evasive pips are enough at this range. They probably won't be, because we don't have very many of those. Not with this loadout. Okay, large laser from over there. That is a chameleon. Cattlemaster moves up. It's got a rotary rifle, but it missed all of the rounds. Okay, the Blackjack moves up. Fires on the J. Edgar. Misses almost everything.
Armor's holding, Commander. Nothing to see here.
The Gauss fired on the J. Edgar. Okay. We're good. So, that's the Calliope there. I'm pretty sure anyway. Or maybe one of these LRM turrets. That was the Calliope firing there. So it seems like they're effective at long-range engagements.
Good to go.
Okay. We are going to move our Vulcan off over this direction, I think.
Roger that.
We are affected by their metal. They've got a pirate jammer there. Our Ultra AC-5 is sadly jammed right now, so we're just going to have to potshot this Chameleon. This is going to be a painful close-in. There's no doubt about that.
Negative damage.
Okay, the AC-5 unjammed. The Chameleon walks up, fires on the Vulcan again, hits that large laser again. I think that hit in a different location, though. The Cattlemaster missed every rotary round again. That is very useful for us, for sure. Really? He must have ignored the head hit? No, he didn't. He absolutely did not. I just missed that it was a head hit. Okay. Well, the odds of getting hit on the head again are pretty low, and honestly, using that armor there is not the worst thing. We're going to step forward with the Panther here, and look to hit that Gauss emplacement. That is a hit. 50 damage, no crit. They're firing on the Vulcan, no damage. That's good.
Ready for orders.
Okay. I want to... I think I want to move up over this direction and start backstabbing this Blackjack. That'll get us 4 evasive pips. And we're in their backline here.
Taking the shot.
And we missed everything, but that's fine. The J. Edgar is mostly a distraction and scouting vehicle. We're going to move up with the Blackjack here.
On my way.
The idea is that the Blackjack finishes off the Gauss emplacement. Our hit odds are not great, but that is a pair of hits and a dead Gauss emplacement. Fantastic. I got a little bit lucky there, but I'm okay with it. That's a standard LRM turret. That is a light laser turret, and that's a Calliope. Those are not hugely threatening, so we're going to sprint forward with the Hunchy here, and we're going to look to engage on this flank with the mechs, with the Hunchy. I do want to get in close enough to hit that Cattlemaster, since it's the one running the ECM. Blackjack moves up, fires on the J. Edgar, misses most of it, and we were in cover. And it skylined itself, too. They're continuing to fire on the Panther, and that was a fair amount of damage there. More firing on the J. Edgar, but they missed. That's good. Okay, that Hornet moves. Fires on the Vulcan, misses. Sounds good.
I'm here.
Okay, the Panther has been taking a fair amount of damage, particularly in its left torso. I would prefer to face it over something kind of like this. We do need to start clearing some of these enemies out. There's no doubt about that. We could jump it for evasive pips. We are going to be giving up some of our own accuracy, but I think that is worthwhile. 42% on the Cattlemaster, which is exactly the same as all of these others. That said, we could also go for the Calliope. That thing has 300 armor on it. It'll take us several turns to chip through that. I think we're actually better off to go for the Cattlemaster here. And we missed. Okay.
My life is
Fair enough.
devoid of meaning.
As well it should be. The Vulcan is going to sprint its way up into here, into the woods. That'll get us an additional evasive pip as well as getting us into cover. So that'll be a useful thing for the Vulcan. The Chameleon, we have a 63% hit chance on, 56% on the Cattlemaster. I do want to focus fire on that Cattlemaster, but I think that these extra hit odds on the Chameleon are too good to pass up. And actually, the Chameleon has less base armor than the Cattlemaster, which surprises me a little bit. I guess I'm just not familiar with this variant. Okay. Oh, that was really bad rolls. Really bad rolls. Okay. The Blackjack fires on the Panther. Misses everything. That's what we wanted to see out of those 3 evasive pips. Excellent. The J. Edgar is going to move in over this direction. Actually, we may want to come in over here like this and just get in directly behind the Cattle Master and rear arc attack it. That's a lot of rear arc damage to that Cattle Master. The Chameleon moves over, fires on the Vulcan, misses everything. That was a little lucky with only 2 evasive pips. I like it. The Cattle Master moves up. Rear arc attacks the J. Edgar, but barely does anything there because of our evasive pips. I'll take it. Our Blackjack will advance. And our hit odds are best on the Blackjack, and this is side arc. We could theoretically take out one of its arms, which would really reduce its damage output. We did not, but we got some damage in there. Okay. The Hunchback, I'm going to continue sprinting it in here. And I'd love to continue hitting their Blackjack. Our hit odds aren't the best at this range, but we got some hits anyway. They're continuing to fire on the J. Edgar there. Its rear armor is definitely getting heavily exposed. That's fine. It's pretty unlikely to get killed at this time. We may have to disengage it at some point, though. Yeah, it's really low on the rear armor currently.
Orders?
Noted. We could get in with the Vulcan and charge their Cattle Master. I don't really like charging because of the self-damage that it inflicts.
Roger that.
So instead, we're just going to get up over here. We may end up hitting the side arc of the Chameleon instead. Actually, our hit odds are identical. So I think we'll hit the Cattle Master here. Okay.
Waiting for orders.
The J. Edgar absolutely should work on doing some level of disengage at this time. There are flames on the way. We're going to take some armor damage there. It did not go into the rear arc. We're good. The J. Edgar did its job. The Chameleon just didn't attack,
Ready for orders.
which is an interesting choice, to be sure. We're going to fire on this Blackjack side arc again.
Locking on.
No hits there.
Failed to connect.
Okay. I mean, I'm not too surprised given those hit odds, but I'm a little disappointed, to be sure. Our center torso on the Panther is definitely looking sketchy. I'm going to jump over this direction and expose side arc to these guys. And we're going to fire on this Blackjack side arc.
Got it, Commander.
Okay, he's got AMS. Noted. The Hornet moves up. Fires on the Vulcan. That's kind of ideal for us. Okay. We're going to close in with our Hunchy. Not sprinting this time. What are our hit odds on this guy? Oh, our hit odds are actually really good into this side arc. We take these.
Aye, aye. Engaging target.
There we go. That's a lot of their damage output gone.
Got past the armor.
So that's great. The Cattle Master moves up. Fires point blank on the Vulcan. Doesn't get much done. Fine. Blackjack moves up. Also fires on the Vulcan. Gets a little done there, but not too bad. If we can get in a little bit closer here. Ooh, I was hoping to not see that heat sink destruction.
Heart around me.
See, that's the left side. Yeah, that is... They all clustered there. I was hoping that they would hit the armor in the arm rather than in the torso. That's what we were aiming for. Unfortunately, it did not happen. The J. Edgar is just going to chill.
Bracing for impact.
But this is going to hurt. Never mind. They went for the Vulcan. Okay. They did not have to do that. I want to move the Panther. That is phase 16. So we do get to move that before they move.
Good to go.
Good. Good, good, good. Can we... We can jump over into side arc here. I'd like to just move into the Cattle Master here. We can hit its side arc. This would expose rear armor. And that might be a good distraction from our Panther. Yeah, I think so. The real question is, do we get into rear arc of the Hornet instead? We'd have to punch, which means we can't fire the flamer or the machine gun. Our hit odds on the Ultra AC5 are slightly better. Our hit odds on the punch are not great. Whereas our hit odds on this kick are actually very, very good. I think we take this. Okay, there's a structure exposure on that side arc. Okay, that's not necessarily ideal. I want to sprint the Blackjack up over this way in hopes of blocking LOS on our Panther. And I'd like to fire in on... What arc would this be? This is the other arc for the Blackjack. That's 48% hit odds, compared to 42% on the Cattle Master. That said, we might be able to knock down the Cattle Master. At the very least, remove its evasive. There's not a ton of evasive there,
Target acquired.
but okay.
I'm
That'll do. The Panther, it could make its way over this way. It can't sprint. It could simply turn its back
up high.
and brace. And I think that's what we're going to do here.
Yep.
The Hunchback can make its way up, and it can actually punch the Cattle Master here, and it has very good odds. And it can fire almost all of its medium lasers. Do it.
Heading out.
Boop. Nice. That is definitely a very stressed Cattle Master. Structure exposure on that Vulcan. I was not expecting that. Where did that hit at? I'm firing on the Blackjack, that's fine. The Blackjack has plenty of armor for right now.
So good.
Oh, hitting that Vulcan. I'd prefer that they didn't.
Internal structure damage.
Okay, hitting the Blackjack, that's fine. Laser AMS doing a little bit of work there.
Minor damage.
Very little work. The Cattle Master didn't do much there. They're still firing on that Vulcan. I mean, I know I explicitly exposed the rear arc there. Okay, that's the arm. All that's there is a machine gun. That's not that concerning. It's vaguely concerning, though. If we were to go here, this would be rear arc. This is the left arm, so it would be facing this direction. Alternately, if we were to attack the Cattle Master rear arc here, our left arm would be out this direction, which would mean it'd be exposed to the Blackjack, it'd be exposed to this Calliope. I think any way we slice it, if we're going to melee attack with the Vulcan, we're strongly risking this arm. That said, there's no MG ammo in that arm. There's just a machine gun. I think that this is a slightly safer melee attack. Although if we were to go here, it would go here. That's still rear arc. And we'd only be risking the left arm at this point, I think, to the Hornet. Unless the Blackjack moved over here, in which case it could stray shot the Cattle Master if the Cattle Master didn't move out of the way. These are not great odds. And the Cattle Master has no weapons left. So there is that. Our Ultra AC5 is jammed. I think we're going to go for it.
Copy. Locked on for physical attack.
We did hit that melee attack. Oh, and the pilot ejected. We'll take it.
Mech destroyed.
Okay, Now the Blackjack can move forward here into this cover.
Onward.
The real question is, do we hit the Hornet? Do we hit the Blackjack? Do we hit the Calliope? I think we actually go for the Calliope here. We'll have to start chipping it away sometime. Ooh, that was not great, but we didn't have great hit odds on anything.
Succeeded in missing the target.
You did indeed succeed in missing the target. Okay, that is now the other arm that is exposed, I believe.
I'm taking internal damage.
Yeah, that chameleon is definitely messing up our Vulcan. What's in that arm? Just a flamer. Okay.
What do you need?
The Hunchy can get in behind the Hornet here. And can punch the Hornet. This is likely a kill on the Hornet, actually. Now, this does not help the Vulcan. I am aware of this. Okay, that's a leg destruction. It wasn't the best damage spread by any means. In fact, it was quite bad.
Commander?
Okay, the Panther... If we were to jump over here, how exposed would we be? This is the left torso, so we would want to face... Yeah, we'd be quite exposed jumping there. If we were to jump over here, we could potshot these guys. Our hit odds would be very, very low. However, what if we did something like this? This would expose rear arc primarily, so they'd be hitting this where they'd have to get 25 more damage. We can cover and brace, although the cover isn't going to... or rather, we could vigilance. The cover isn't going to be effective if they're true rear arc instead of side arc, but I believe only the Calliope would be true rear arc. And then we can hit the Hornet. Like, go for that other leg.
Firing all weapons.
That was... probably not worth it, if I'm honest. The J. Edgar, I would love to re-engage. We could actually get it up here.
Acknowledged.
And hit it right in that leg.
Targeting for an alpha strike.
Okay, there's some additional damage to the Hornet. The Blackjack moves up, fires on that Vulcan. It actually stray shot the Hunchy, which I am...
Barely hit, Commander.
very okay with. That, though, yep, I'm not surprised that we lost that arm or that flamer.
That'll make that.
Oh, he ejected. Corsair, that was a bad call. You were fine. I was willing to lose that arm, but he was not. He panicked. That's okay. They just killed their own mech.
Damage minimal.
I mean, ultimately, we'll have to replace that head, but that's not that big of a deal, all things considered. I'm going to jump our Panther back over this way. I don't want them to start focusing the Panther again. And yeah, that was pretty much expected at this point. I was not expecting the Vulcan to eject, but yeah, now they're going to be working on that Hunchy's rear arc. There's no doubt about that. That's where all those heat sinks are. We got to move that Hunchy, but we can't yet.
Standing by.
Okay, the J. Edgar could, in theory, engage over this way, using its front arc as armor. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to potshot this Calliope.
Engaging.
We got to deal with that chameleon, though, and in order to do that, we really need to turn the Hunchy around. I was not expecting the Vulcan to eject. That really messed us up, actually.
Affirmative.
He was completely fine. He didn't have to do that.
Taking the shot.
Okay, some damage to that Blackjack, but they're going to move now. Okay, they're firing on the J. Edgar, and they missed everything. That was not their best move. They should have gone for the Hunchy there.
Aye, aye.
Because now the Hunchy can turn around and bring its weaponry to bear, and its frontal armor, which is untouched. Almost. We can start working on the standard turret. It has 240 armor. I don't think we're going to kill it, but we'll do a lot of damage to it. They're going to fire on the J. Edgar. They did get some frontal armor damage there. Our frontal armor is low on the J. Edgar. It took another round there and missed. Okay, they're going to fire on the Hunchy. That's completely fine. I'm not at all concerned about that one. The Hunchy can now close in up over this way, and we're going to do so. And we're going to vigilance it. And we're going to fire on the standard LRM turret, and there's a pretty good chance that we actually kill it here. Although not with all those misses.
Got past the armor.
That chameleon is definitely the major threat, and we got to get in close to it.
I'm receiving.
The Blackjack can work on climbing this hill
Roger that.
and hitting their Blackjack in this side arc. This is its strong side, but if we can take out that torso, then it will lose basically all of its weapons. And we can't take out the torso. Okay,
Negative damage.
that's fine. The Panther could move up here. Its armor is very low. I wonder if we could move somewhere where it can realistically only hit this turret. Yes, we can. And this would be exposing the left side. I would rather not expose the left side if at all possible. This is more exposing the front. And I think we'll not fire the SRM here. I really want to, but I don't want to backstab the Hunchy. Turret coolant system crit there, not what we're really looking for, sadly. The J. Edgar's frontal armor is actually doing reasonably. I'd love to make our way up over this direction and get in behind this Calliope and start working on that. We haven't managed to touch it yet. Well, there's 60 damage to it. Blackjack moves over, fires on our Hunchy, misses everything. That's great. That's what I was afraid of right there. Oh, heat sink destruction. Please don't.
Is coming apart.
I was really hoping that that turret would be dead by now, but that's okay. The J. Edgar is still taking some damage.
Standing by.
The Hunchy can make its way up to this chameleon. We can't quite get into rear arc here, but we can get up here and we can punch it in this side arc. This is exposing our rear arc potentially to this turret. Now this is the left rear side. Our left rear side would be over here. If we lose this torso, we're in a world of hurts because we just haven't been able to salvage heat sinks. Otherwise, all we would lose is a small laser.
Understood.
Okay, we hit the melee attack. That's huge. That was a lot of damage on that guy.
Scored a critical hit.
Okay, that chameleon did indeed take a lot,
I'm ready.
but not, I think, enough. The Panther is going to jump over this way. This would expose the left side. I would rather expose the right side.
Subject.
And we're going to fire at this LRM turret and take it out. It's gone. Excellent. This is definitely proving to be more challenging than I was expecting, mostly because of this chameleon.
Receiving you.
I want to continue cruising, like, in a circle around this Calliope. Yeah, over here should be fine. Our front armor is definitely getting low, and we need to be concerned about that on the J. Edgar.
Taking the shot.
Okay.
Standing by.
The Blackjack can definitely make its way up. And I want to fire on their Blackjack. Our Blackjack is quite fresh. So we're okay if they decide to attack us. There's some more damage to the Blackjack there. And it did indeed decide to attack our Blackjack. It missed almost everything, so I'm very, very okay with that. Their chameleon is doing what I was hoping that it wouldn't. It didn't get into that torso, though. So we're good.
I hate these guys.
And then they fired on our J. Edgar. Was that side arc? I think it hit our side. Oh, they didn't. Oh no, that was an ejection, actually. Scrub ejected. I prefer that he didn't. But okay, everybody's ejecting for some reason. Anyway, it is time to put a cut in here. It's past time. I usually wouldn't, but in this case, I think I will. And next episode, we'll see if we can manage to get through the rest of this. I'm pretty sure we can, but the question is, at what cost? You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.